All right, what is up everybody? So we are back for another episode of the CBR 1000 build. We are still calling this part 4 of the assembly process. Currently the bike is up on stands. It's got the swing arm and rear suspension in, engine in the frame. I have the triple clamps on. I want to do the front forks right away, so I have some new fork oil and fork seals. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Every other part that I have to go on, I got rear sets, I guess the exhaust, some engine components, the rads. I am limited on some things I can do. I'm still waiting on the wheels. The thing about the wheels is I'm getting a custom set of wheels machined for the bike. Pretty much I had this crazy idea to put spoked wheels on this sport bike. I'm in love with the look of spoked wheels on, like, say, a Supermoto, and to be able to go with my color scheme, I just couldn't get out of my mind. So I think this might be the first CBR 1000 with spoked wheels, a sport bike with spoked wheels. I think maybe some of you guys might think I'm a little crazy for doing this. I do believe the wheels will be stronger than the magnesium or cast aluminum wheels that come on sport bikes. Definitely stronger than some carbon fiber wheels that are out today. The idea with spoked wheels is that they are heavier. I don't really care if they're heavier or not. This is just going to be a street show bike for me. I'm not going to be riding on the track. I have a dedicated CBR 1000 for the track. This bike is strictly just show. So just crazy show idea I had was to put spoked wheels. So that's what we're waiting on. I'm getting a rear hub custom machine for the bike. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss the first CBR 1000 with spoked wheels. I'm going to be powder coating them and lacing them up right here on the channel. So look forward to that. All right, so without further ado, let's finally put the front forks back together. I went out and picked up some fork oil. I'm using the AMSOIL Light 5. Got some extra here just in case for the future. And here's the forks and some brand new seals I got right here. So I'm going to show you guys how I do this. By no means am I a suspension expert, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty basic to just be able to put new fork seals in and change the oil. I am not messing with the valving. It's all going to be completely stock still. Alright, so I'm going to do the left fork first. I have the inner cartridge, the stanchions, and all the parts laid out in the order they go. I do have new fork seals, and then these are the dust seals. These I got from Bike Master, and these are original Honda OEM. I kind of mix and match what I want to get OEM and what I want to get aftermarket. I'd like OEM seals, but they would have been on back order and they cost double the price of what I got the Bike Masters for. So just pick and choose what you want OEM, and if there's a cheaper version of aftermarket. A good example is brakes. Anything OEM brakes wise is triple the price as something aftermarket. Alright, so I guess I'll explain what I'm doing here. I have a piece of plastic. I'm just going to wrap it around the top with a little bit of electrical tape, and this is going to help slide the fork seal over the tube without damaging the inside by getting it caught on the sharp edges right there. So there's a bit of a sharp edge right there, so I'm just trying to slip the fork seal on without damaging it. Okay, so now I'm going to put it on in the reverse order of the fork. I'm going to lube it up with some WD-40. You can use fork oil, I just have WD-40 in a spray bottle. So obviously it goes dust seal first. Maybe I should move that up. And then it goes this snap ring to hold in the fork seal and keep the fork together. And then the fork seal, so this is a solid side and this is the sealing side, so that goes on this way, preventing oil coming out this way. There. Now that I got that on, I can remove this plastic. Alright. So now I'm going to put everything else back on. So backup ring, slider bushing, and then the fork bushing. Okay, now I have to get the tube on here. So a little trick I've kind of picked up, or I don't quite remember where I got it from, but usually you can, what you're supposed to do is buy a seal driver that is a little bit bigger than this diameter, so it can wrap around here in two pieces, and then you can hammer the fork seal in. What I do is I put some electrical tape about right here down the stanchion, and I try and make it real even all the way around. And then we keep going, we just keep wrapping it around. So now you can see we have a big buildup of electrical tape there. And I have the dust seal and the snap ring below that, and the fork seal right there. So what I'm gonna do is lube everything up with WD-40. That and this. Get it banged in there pretty good. So if we look down in there, you can see the area where the snap ring is going to go, so that's going to be bottom. I'm going to give it a couple more taps just to be safe. So now we just slide this down in there. There we go. Fork seals complete. Now I'm gonna do the other one and come back to putting in the cartridge and filling up the oil.
What we do here is go back.
Okay, so I was able to get some help to put this plate in under the plastic piece to take the damper apart, cartridge apart. So now I'm going to fill it up with some oil. The service manual is counting for 490 milliliters, so I'm going to do 500 in this measuring cup. I'm using the Shock Therapy number 5 light just to give it a little bit more plushness for the street. On my track bike I'd use the number 10 medium just to make it a little bit more stiff. Alright, let's fill her up. It, expand it a bit. Put your hand on top. Slowly release the air up and down, and that should be putting the oil into the cartridge valve. Also, I just put some oil inside this hole where the damper rod goes. Damper rod. So if we move that down, you kind of bleed it that way too. When I push it down, oil comes out of it. Or when I pull it up, oil comes out of it. So I think we're good there. So I'm going to put it back in the vise. Alright, so now we're going to do the oil level. So I have the fork oil level gauge here. So spec is 86 millimeters, so I have this set to 86. And you just put it in there like that. And suck out any excess. So I did pour some extra in there into the damper rod, so I think there's going to be a lot extra. Alright, there's about 40 milliliters extra. Alright, now to put it back together, I got the spring in there. So this goes on next. And then I have this tool I made. It goes down in there, threads onto the damper rod. All right, I did it. So that's what we kind of want to put it back together. Okay, so I'll take my tool off. This tool is just, it's like a T handle with a fitting on the end that matches the thread of this. It's just something I made in my shop. You can buy one of these. I believe it's called a damper rod holder or puller. That's it there. So now we can slide this bad boy back on. Grab my 2 wrenches that I've been using. Okay, that's it. Take out my tool. There we go. Now we just have to tighten the cap. I'll do a final tighten when I have it in the triple clamp. Okay, the last thing for this is setting the preload, compression, and rebound back to the original settings. So just on the service manual, we have preload adjustment 7 turns from minimum. So that we're at full minimum right now. I'm going to turn it in 7 turns. For me to do that, I want to be able to see where I am. So there's a dot here, but no other dot to line it up with. So I'm just going to leave a little punch mark right there. And now 7 turns in. 1. Compression, we have 1 3/4 turns from full hard. So we're going to go all the way in. We're going to come out 1 whole turn, 1 3/4. There's a 1/2 and 3/4. And then rebound, we have 2 1/4 turns from full hard. So all the way in, 2 1/4. So one, 2 1/4. All right, that's it. Forks are done. Just gonna do it to the other one now and put her back in the bike. Okay guys, the front forks are officially on. Fresh oil and seals. Powder coated black. Looking pretty sick. I got the rear subframe on too. It's coming together guys. Coming together. The headers are on. They look amazing blacked out. Okay, so I thought I'd pause and give you guys a little update of where the bike stands in this video. So currently, subframe I put on, forks rebuilt, put on the front bird cage, fairing, front fairing stay they say, and I got the exhaust on. Super excited once the exhaust got on, it looks sweet. This is ceramic coated with Cerakote. If you watch the powder coating video, you'll see me coat that. You actually see me coat the entire bike pretty much. If you watch that powder coating video, I think that's part 3. Yeah, part 3. Yeah, so next thing up, I'm gonna try and keep this video a little shorter. Just do fork build and calipers. So I have the calipers here. I got the pistons and the seals. I'm gonna put them back in and put them on the bike. I got some brand new SBS brake pads as well. Heard good things about these. Just a street use bike anyway, so I'm not gonna be going crazy trying to find some sintered track performance brakes. This is street performance, so yeah. All right, let's put these back together. All right, so a little tip. Putting these back together, you'll want to lube up the seals and pistons. A lot of people say just use brake fluid, but if you spill the brake fluid on the coating, it could possibly lift the coating and ruin it. So I just have WD-40 here in a bottle. That's good enough to just lube it all up. And then when I fill the calipers with brake fluid after, it just kind of mixes together, I guess, and whatever. I'm not using a lot of WD-40. I'm just using it to lube everything up here. Alright, so I'm done this one. Still gotta put some of the hardware back in it, but I'm done the seals. You can see it's pretty tedious fighting those little seals to get in there, but once they kind of get in there, they snap right into place, and then you can just, because everything's lubed up and nice and clean, you can just push the pistons in by hand. This is the correct orientation of the pistons, not the other way around, so yeah, pretty stoked to get these on the bike and see what they look like. Alright guys, the calipers are on. They're looking pretty sweet. This black texture somewhat matches the black texture a little bit on the lower fork stanchions. I think that's a wrap for this video. I just wanted to keep it short and sweet, more educational about putting the forks together and stuff like that. Yeah, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I'm going to be doing spoked wheels on this bike. So I really think that's like the first CBR 1000 with spoked wheels. I couldn't find anywhere else or pictures or anything on the internet that has spoked wheels on these bikes. Again, about the strength issue, I guess people would say, is everyone I talk to that I mentioned that there's going to be spoked wheels on the bike, there's different thoughts and theories about it. I think my theories lean towards it's going to be okay, like it's going to be good, it's actually going to be amazing. So spoked wheels are actually stronger than a normal cast wheel. Look at a dirt bike. You go off a jump and they just flex a bit. So that's the thing. They are stronger, but now they flex more. So they a cast aluminum wheel does not flex as much. But in today's technology now, the carbon fiber wheels, they want them to flex a little bit. So depending on how tight I torque the spokes will determine how much the wheel will flex. So I'm still waiting on them a little bit. I think they're going to be great. I do have the stock wheels still, so if they don't work out, I'll just throw some wheels on. Yeah, I talked to the company. They should be here in a couple months still. That's okay because the snow just started flying here. It's the end of November. I'm getting a sled out soon, so I'm going to be posting some sled videos if you guys are snowmobilers. Yeah, the bike's looking pretty fresh. I'm getting pretty excited. Stay tuned for some more videos. I'm just gonna start picking some parts now and putting them on. I do still have enough to create some content, and yeah, I got lots to do still. So stay tuned, subscribe. You're not gonna want to miss this build. First CBR 1000 on spoked wheels. Yeah, it's just something I had in my mind. I couldn't shake. Part of the color scheme. I'm like, yeah, like all black wheels, black spokes, but gold nipples all the way around. I couldn't shake it out of my mind. I could not find a company to buy spoked wheels from for CBR 1000. I ended up finding a company that would custom make me a 5.5 inch rear hoop with 36 spokes. The front hub and wheel was able to, I was able to grab that because of the cafe racer scene. There was some demand there, right? But the rear hub I could not find. So obviously I had to ship out my stock wheel, axle, caliper, spacers, everything they could use to measure to create me pretty much a hub that would exactly match a center hub of the CBR 1000. So it's pretty much going to be a Honda CBR 1000 spec'd rear hub. Just I could lace up some spokes. Yeah, stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty wild. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.